Hi, guys. Hello, hello. Welcome to the People's Duchess. So glad that you guys are here. So, look, I know it's been a pretty rough week for many of us between the fires and obvious political unrest. January has gotten off to a pretty bumpy start. And I see you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every one of you who contribute to this channel and really make it what it is. So let's get right into today's episode. And it is coming in hot. So hot, I had to jump on live tonight to chat with you guys versus, making a normal video or even going live on Instagram, which I still like to, but the lives don't really translate as well. They don't really save or have all of the visual cues and information like we get here on the YouTubes. So we have got some breaking news today. Prince Harry has won his case and a massive settlement against NGN Group, which is the media empire owned by Rupert Murdoch and responsible for the Sun newspaper publication. This is huge because at the trial, the trial just started. So this trial just started this week and was set to be, a long drawn out battle like we've seen Harry go on these last couple of years with other publications. But on the first day, we got word that it was delayed, and that's all we got. And then later on, there were some whispers and rumblings in the streets that there were talks underway. Now, it's been confirmed just a few hours ago. The news broke by Prince Harry's barrister, the Honorable David Sherborne, reading the apology from the Sun, which included full admission of guilt against Prince Harry and his mother, Princess Diana, and others that they named specifically. Now, we'll get into that a little bit later, but I did want to start with the barrister's statement this morning regarding everything that the talks had produced in the last 24 hours.
In a monumental victory today, News UK have admitted that The Sun, the flagship title for Rupert Murdoch's UK media empire, has indeed engaged in illegal practices. After endless resistance, denials, and legal battles by Newsgroup newspapers, including spending more than £1 billion in payouts and in legal costs, as well as paying off those in the know, in order to prevent the full picture from coming out, News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law. It has also specifically admitted wrongdoing against Tom Watson and admitted unlawful acts by The Sun, as well as by the News of the World against Prince Harry.
Oh my gosh, my mic was off this whole time. So, that was Prince Harry's lawyer, David Sherborne, again, outside the High Court this morning, reading that statement, at least part of the statement from NGN Group, which is the parent group of the Sun newspaper. This is a really big deal. As we know, Prince Harry has previously won cases against the Daily Mail Group, also winning significant damages and an apology in that case as well. So I don't think it was surprising at all to see the Sun and concede that they had done these illegal information gathering methods against Prince Harry. And as they highlighted specifically and particularly during his youth, during his childhood. So that's what makes this really egregious and the settlement really substantial, because they caused so much harm. I mean, these are the formative years we're talking about here. These are the years that a person develops their frontal lobe, their response mechanisms, their anxiety triggers, their neural mechanisms that cue them to what is normal, what's right and wrong, what is just and unjust. All of these things are being developed during this time period from essentially preteens all the way to your mid 20s that you're really developing that frontal lobe. You're really going through experiences that teach you and train you for the future and how to handle certain elements and situations and people that you encounter. So when this is disrupted in such a traumatic way, and not just with the passing of his mom, but also with the treatment, the lack of mental care, the lack of aftercare, family and emotional support thereafter, I think that, yeah, this caused some issues, but the significant part of those issues were compounded by all of these intrusions and people wanting to know how Prince Harry was either coping or not coping so well after the death of his mother. And rather than just ask him or be empathetic or be kind or approach the situation with any manner or modicum of decorum, these individuals that work for the tabloid agencies went about intruding into the life of a child at the okay and even sometimes at the behest of those around him. Hey, Gina. Love this for Prince Harry. I so love this for him. This has been absolutely an amazing piece of information and breakthrough today. But yeah, he was given zero protection. He was pretty much fed to these adults for the sake of getting them to look elsewhere and not at, Charles or William or Camilla and their shenanigans at the time. And this might not be a relatable thing to you personally. However, for me, it is extremely relatable. I'm pretty sure that we've all seen something like this happen. And if it's not in a familial setting, definitely at work, where you're kind of having to take responsibility for something that someone else did, or maybe you made a mistake a long time ago and now someone's pointing that out to take the heat off of them. I mean, we've all kind of been there. So this apology just makes a lot of sense. The Sun has issued a full and unequivocal apology to the Duke of Sussex. They have admitted to and apologized for infringing on his privacy as well as the privacy of his mother, Princess Diana. And he has received more than £10 million, which is more than $12 million in damages from NGM, which is the news group newspapers. It's been insane. I cannot imagine what Prince Harry was going through and is still kind of feeling. I know he's vindicated today. We've seen a powerful news agency that probably felt like they were completely untouchable. And in a lot of ways, yeah, they were. Let's just be real. They kind of are. The Murdochs are a bit untouchable. I think they have a lot of information on a lot of high profile individuals, including those who make the laws, uphold the laws, and disseminate information, whether it's via news agencies or government agencies. There's a lot of intermingling there. And so there's no real expectation that if one of them were to, let's say, tap a person's phone or computer or other electronic device and then get busted for it, there's just almost no expectation that they would, one, be caught, two, be held to account, or three, ever punished for it legally or in any meaningful way other than having to pay a fine. So I get hopeful for things like this. I get really hopeful for things like this. This is the full apology here. You can kind of go through it, pause to read. But yeah, I get very hopeful because there's so little hope in the world right now. There's so little hope that people have for themselves and their futures, whether it's becoming a homeowner or getting into a good paying career or getting skills advanced enough to do so, there's a lot of like lack of that hope that people have just because of how things are right now, especially with the pricing and inflation and everything else. So this is a story of hope. This is something that gives a bit of hope for millions of us out there that are nowhere near the kind of resources and public profile like a Prince Harry, but that have had our rights infringed on or have been the victim of things like this, to where people have published negative articles or just untrue things or said untrue things about us. This is a hopeful moment for us, in that media might just change their ways after this. Prince Harry has definitely gone up against Goliaths. I mean, these newspaper groups are backed by oligarchy money, backed by top political officials' money, and they never really have to answer to anyone for themselves and their actions. So this is really, really satisfying. The settlement also includes an 8-figure sum. We don't know how much that is, but that is a very substantial figure. They are finally being held to account. And I wish that the figure was 9 figures, to be completely honest, because Harry deserves it. After everything he's gone through, all the anguish and mental distress, you got to remember this is his entire life, essentially. This has been his entire life. He has been hounded, and relentlessly so. It's a horrific way to live. No matter who you are or where you're from or what your job is or how much money you make, this is a horrific way to live. Always looking over your shoulder, always having to question who among your friends are, really your friends, because you're telling people things that you trust, and then you're seeing those things in the newspaper the next day, and you can't even imagine the kind of like psychological anguish it would bring you. I mean, just consider it. If you told someone in confidence something, and then in the newspaper the next day, there it is. And then you call the person and you're like, hey man, why would you tell the newspaper what I told you? And they're like, I didn't say anything to anybody. And you're like, yes, you did. I just told you this, and here it is in the newspaper. I haven't told anyone else. So you're going back and forth, and then you eventually obviously fall out with that person because you think they're lying and they think you've gone mad. And then only to find out a little bit later on that they tapped your phone or computer or iPad or whatever the case might be. I couldn't even imagine. That is some extremely abusive, intrusive nightmare pasta. So I'm just really happy to see that Mr. Sherborne was also able to get an apology for his previous client, Princess Diana, on the record as well. And this is such a full circle moment for him, having represented Diana in the past and now being able to get this posthumous apology to her for all the things that this agency has done to her when she was alive. So all these decades later, it's really impressive, and kudos to the Sherborne team and everyone who has worked really hard to make this a reality. Again, I can only imagine how Prince Harry and his family are feeling right now, vindicated at the very least. Sherborne was just the right guy to call. Beverly McCaskill, hey girl, hey. This is a big win for the Ginger Avenger. His mother, Princess Diana, is looking down on him and smiling. She is protecting his wife and her beautiful grandchildren. Yes, she is. Thank you so much for that, Beverly. Agreed. This is vindication for Diana as well. Even posthumously, we'll take it. She did not get this satisfaction when she was alive. She did not get to see her beautiful grandchildren. She did not get to see this victory that Prince Harry has won while she was alive. But thank goodness that it has come. Even though it has been justice delayed, it has definitely finally come. So I'm very thankful for that. So Sherborne has a list of celebrity clients. He's kind of like the who's who for, if you have a case. And this case, and a lot of the cases that were presented regarding these intrusions of privacy and phone tapping and everything else, they included not just Prince Harry, but several plaintiffs, including Hugh Grant, Sienna Miller, Baroness Lawrence, and others. So it's Prince Harry et al. In a lot of these cases. And it's not just a win for them. It's not just a win for the plaintiffs in this case. This is a win for everybody. This is something that we can all look forward to because, again, you might not be affected personally by something like this. You might not be a celebrity or someone who newspapers or agencies reports on, but just imagine if you were. I mean, it doesn't take much to become a newsworthy person. People go viral every day. And then the next thing you know, newspaper agencies and everything else is looking into your life. So it could happen to pretty much anyone. And the protection is needed for everyone. Hey, Joanne, I'm really happy for Harry. He was able to get an apology for him and his mom. He sure was. Ginger Avenger is correct. I love that moniker because it's the truth. Harry is such a freaking hero, not just for himself or his kids, but for everyone. He's such a role model and he's always exemplifying how to be a normal, modern role model without all the airs. This is a really big day for reporting and the truth. These cases were brought about not just to bring accountability to reporting and that structure, but to bring about real change. Joanne, I was surprised that Elton John didn't hold out when Harry started. It was him and about 6 others. Did they all just settle? That's a good question, Joanne. In these types of class action or tort or other types of cases where you have multiple plaintiffs and it's very high profile like this, I think that we would have heard had someone come out and said, hey man, I'm going to go ahead and take some money and tap out. Doing the Prince William, I call it. Taking a Prince William. And this is not to give William the Mickey or anything like that. But at the end of the day, what do you take, $1 million or something like that? If we're to believe the tabloids and the headlines about that, he took about $1 million or £1 million or whatever it was. I would have held out for a much larger sum. Laverta August, isn't Elton going to be with Harry in the 2026 trial? That's a really good question, Laverta. And again, I don't know. So if anyone here is watching and can answer some of these, very granular, detailed questions for us, I would really greatly appreciate it. But I haven't really come across anything that said anything further than what we already know. So this is just a really great and welcome surprise. Joanne, perhaps I've gotten a mix up. Perhaps. I'll keep you guys, posted, but I just haven't, when I was even just doing the research for this live today, I didn't come across anything that said any of those things. So, hello to everybody that's just joining us, and hello to everybody in the chat. If I've missed you, hello. And if you are enjoying this stream, please do hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much, guys. All right, so yeah, I mean, basically, it's just a very big and monumental moment. I cannot stress it enough how big this is. Harry has so far taken down some of the biggest agencies, not just in the UK. The Murdoch empire is a global one. Unfortunately, it spans across multiple continents, and I feel that this has come at just the right moment. 2025 is the year of the snake. In case any of you are following along with the Chinese calendar, 2025 is the year of the snake. And this is an animal that gets a lot of misunderstanding. And I think that a lot of it comes from the biblical times as far as the snake's role in things. But really, the snake I can't even speak. Symbolizes. I don't know why that word came out so tough. The snake symbolizes regrowth, rebirth, and growth. So shedding of that skin, shedding of the old and into the new is what a snake represents. It represents growth and moving upward and onward in your trajectory. So this is the year of the snake, and I would love everybody to also move onward and upward and take this as a really good example. Prince Harry gives me such inspiration. Like literally, I get so much inspiration from this man and his wife, obviously, but independently, Prince Harry is so inspirational because he's the one that has this background. He's the one that has this like unreal, put upon background. And instead of leaning into it and being as like, douchey as possible and really just playing into that role, he has chosen to step outside of himself and look at things, on a 360-degree level. So he sees things that other people won't see or refuse to or just simply can't by way of the fact that they don't have empathy. He has found a way to develop empathy in a situation and in an environment that does not nurture that. And I'm so proud of him. I am really, really, really proud of him for everything that he has done, everything that he has continued to do. Harry has proven himself victorious today, and I could not be more proud as a Sussex Squad valedictorian. They're from pretty much day one. Those of you who have been with me, especially on Instagram since 2018 when I started this, kind of just following them curiously, and then 2021 when I started my YouTube channel. So I am so thankful for everybody, but I'm really, really thankful that we have such a strong community and someone like Prince Harry at the helm of that. We can be proud in him. He is not going to embarrass us like some of these other folks' heroes who are currently in jail. You won't be disappointed with this man. He's not going to disappoint you. He's not going to come out, doing some crackhead stuff at some point. He is just such a solid person. And that's really impressive considering his background. And I know that he comes from a place of privilege, and it's really easy to say, well, he was rich. He was rich. He had everything. No, he didn't. Y'all saw this man lugging around trash bags of clothes with holes in his shoes. He didn't have squat. Okay, they had that man in servants' quarters. So you can think what you want about his life or, the conceptions or misconceptions you might have about how he grew up. This man didn't have it like that. I don't care what anyone says. I think that he had to also tough it out. I think that he also had to face some unimaginable hardships, even in his role of privilege. I think that, yes, the outside was cocooned with privilege, but on the inside, it was pretty much the Hunger Games. It was eat or be eaten. It was kill or be killed over there. So I think that we should all just kind of not be so quick to judge, because you don't know what a person is going through. You don't know what their life is like, despite how it looks on Instagram or on television, despite the gold-plated carriages and everything else. You don't know. And if anything, you kind of do, because Diana told you out of her own mouth what was all going on. So we know for a fact all is not how it seems there. So we shouldn't assume that Prince Harry grew up in this lap of luxury and was, all the things. And he's told us with his own mouth as well that that wasn't how things were for him, unfortunately. Ada, hey, welcome. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Is it Ada or Ada? I'm not sure. But Ada, welcome to our chat. Good morning. Indeed, a big victory to our Prince of Hearts. Hello, and thank you for that. Novi, hello, and thank you for joining our chat. Yeah, it's a massive victory. And again, we have nothing but pride in Prince Harry. He's just grown up to be such an intellectual, caring man. And I'm just here to bring you guys this great news. I'm so proud of him. I cannot even I was jumping for joy when this came out. I was so happy. And again, not just because it affects him, but it affects his children, his children's children. He's secured this freedom from that kind of intrusion for so many generations of his kids. Even if they returned to the UK, they still couldn't hound any generation of his children's children that go back to the UK or maybe even decide to live in the UK, they cannot do this again to anybody. So that's the greatest part of all of this. Greetings from Belgium. Hey, LMZ Lifestyle. Congrats, Prince Harry, your mother. We are so proud of you. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So, this is going to be a quick little live tonight. Like I said, I'm so proud of Prince Harry and the team. Really super proud of Princess Meghan standing by her man, providing that support, providing that comfort for him in what I would imagine has been a very difficult and tumultuous journey, taking on these massive Goliaths in publishing and newspaper, and then winning. So happy for the Sussexes. I hope that they're sipping champagne, relaxing by the fire with the kiddos, with some marshmallows roasting and the doggos nearby and the pets and the chickens, and just taking it easy. They have been really providing a lot of support to their communities as of late, helping out in Los Angeles and Southern California. Harry he went to go and talk to a lot of the firefighters and first responders, and that video is up now. So if you haven't seen Compassion in Action, definitely check it out. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in this live. I know I don't go live enough for people to get excited about and join in, but I'm so excited looking at my chat now, and I know that you guys enjoy these lives, so I will do this more often in 2025. I promise, as long as you guys keep showing up, right? As long as you keep showing up. So thank you so much again, you guys, for joining me. Please do have a great rest of your evening, a great rest of your week. Please remember to be kind, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.